Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. We got a great stream today. This is a topic that new users ask me about all the time. So we're going to get to the bottom of it. We got Wallet Guard Director of Partnerships and Cybersecurity Expert Michael K here. What is up, Michael?
Good to be here. Good to be here. Great topic to be speaking about. And we're going to try to make it as engaging as possible because security does get boring, but I think this is one of the most important things to talk about, especially when you're degenerating into crypto.
For sure. No, we're gonna make it fun. It's not gonna be boring. We got my guy Jim in the comments, man. He's moderating. He's giving away masks. We're gonna be giving away masks during the stream. So everybody, it's gonna be a fun stream for sure. And speaking of masks, so my good friend Kari Hero from Mask, he helped put this together, put me and Michael in touch to do this stream. If you're not familiar with what Mask is a privacy project. It's a privacy browser. The link to download the browser is down in the description. It's more secure than a VPN or Tor. It's free. You can download it right now. I'm a big advocate of the project. So big thanks to Kari Hero and Mass. Twitter link is down there. Kari's link is down there. So thanks a lot, Kari, for putting this together. So Wallet Guard, like we said, this is such an important topic. I'm more of a trader. I try to help people make money, but it doesn't matter how much money you make if you can't secure it. It's all for naught, right?
Right. Exactly. Even if it's $10, it hurts to see it get stolen.
Yeah, and I hate to see people get scammed. It is such a big issue out there in crypto, and unfortunately, it's an issue that's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. So I want to play everybody a clip of Michael on Killer Whales real quick if you're not familiar with who Michael is.
You've saved users over $5 million?
Correct.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's a short snippet from one of the main trailers. The actual show is going to be airing next month, so that's going to be really great to see. And that was actually shot a year ago, so it says that we saved users $5 million during that snippet, but that number is now actually past $40 million. So
$40 million.
Yeah, $40 million that scammers weren't able to get because Wallet Guard exists. So crazy numbers.
And I figured it was more than that. And we didn't talk about that. I was gonna ask you. I'm sure that number is up now. And there you go, $40 million. I don't think I've helped people make $40 million. That's for sure. So how'd you get into Web3 security, Michael?
So I was actually in Web2 and cybersecurity pretty much my whole life. I was the CEO of an IT company for 8 years before I exited and went full time into Web3. I luckily ran into the guys over at Wallet Guard when they had their first Web3 security space about 2 years ago. And I jumped in, we were vibing. They were talking about the problem with scams that are in Web3, and that we would always log on to Twitter and we would see people talking about getting their wallets drained or losing their assets. So and Martin, the co-founders, got together and created Wallet Guard. And I was actually the brand ambassador for about a 6-month period before they gave me a full-time position as partnership director. And during that, we all basically dropped what we were doing and moved to one hacker house in order to continue building out this application. So it's just been a blessing having a team of 5 of us that are all about the same mindset, building out the security tool and really putting in, those 20-hour days, 22-hour days to make this thing what it is today.
I tell you what, I am blown away by Wallet Guard, and anybody who follows me know I definitely keep it real. I'm not paid by anybody. I endorse Mass, but Mass doesn't pay me anything. Same thing with Wallet Guard. I'm really blown away by Wallet Guard. So I want to start out with kind of some general questions that I get a lot. Feel free to interject how Wallet Guard plays into these issues, but we're going to talk about specific features of Wallet Guard as well. So I get so many questions. This is a big question I get a lot. So a lot of users know, if you're going to connect to a DEX maybe you haven't used before, or a site that looks a little sketchy, that you probably shouldn't use your main wallet. That most people do know that. And if you're new to crypto, then don't do that. But they want to know, okay, is it okay to make more accounts, or should I make new wallets? Because if it gets compromised, do those accounts I added under the same seed phrase, can it affect the other accounts? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I think the main problem is that people don't understand the difference between a seed phrase and a private key.
They don't.
So I think I've seen scenarios where people compromise their seed phrase and then they're told to go create a new wallet, and they actually end up creating a new wallet under the same seed phrase and immediately compromise themselves yet again. So I think the core of it is understanding what is a seed phrase and what is a private key, and how exactly do you perform wallet segregation, right? You don't want to keep all of your eggs in one basket, meaning all of the assets that you don't plan on selling shouldn't be in the same wallet that you are doing random airdrop claims and different meme tokens on. You should have that segregation so that in case something does happen in that wallet, you're not putting all of your assets at risk. So what I like to do is have cold storage, a cold wallet, where I'm sending things that I don't plan on interacting with, don't plan on selling. That essentially is a wallet set up to only receive NFTs or tokens. It's not doing any sort of day-to-day activity. And I'm keeping that completely segregated in its own environment from my day-to-day wallets, where I have basically a hot wallet as well as a warm wallet. So essentially what I'm using is if I plan to mint something on an unknown contract, if I plan to degen into a meme token, I have a separate wallet for that. And I think that it's the idea of just having a separate wallet for scenarios like that is something that people are just too lazy to do, even though it takes a few clicks to do it. And the concept of understanding the difference between having those wallets underneath separate seed phrases is also super important. So the way that you could pull it off, the easiest way that you could pull it off is using browser profiles. So if you're using Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Brave, Opera, there's a feature called browser profiles where you could have separate instances of your browsing habits, right? So you can have a separate browser profile for a separate set of wallets with a completely separate seed phrase than you would a completely different one, such as one that you're using for those day-to-day mints that just have a small amount of Ethereum in it. So segregating browser profiles and data is just as important as segregating your wallets.
Yeah, for sure. I always tell people, me personally, I have more wallets, but I know some people that they just keep making more accounts under the same mother seed phrase. And I always told them, well, if the seed phrase gets compromised, then the whole thing's compromised. But if they connect to a drainer or something like that, can the drainer switch accounts or even networks? Like say you were on ETH, could it switch to AVAX or other accounts within that wallet?
Well, some drainers do prompt you to switch networks, and they are
Mm-hmm.
they are prompting for open approvals on other networks. So they're literally going through any of the assets that might have been tied to your wallet, whether it's multi-chain or whether it's just on Ethereum, and it's trying to rip those assets out of your wallet. Now, the great part about Wallet Guard is that we're actually notifying users about wallet drainers before they even enter a website, before they even connect their wallet, and before they even have to run a simulation. Just think about it. We're able to warn you about something that's about to rip the assets out of your wallet without you even having to enter the website. Wallet Guard's doing that heavy lifting in the background, and we're able to give the user all the risk factors so they could say, okay, this is something that I don't want to interact with.
Oh, it's so impressive. And I mean, we're going to talk about all the features, and I was really, really impressed with Wallet Guard. So if somebody downloads kind of malicious software to their computer, can that switch networks and accounts if they don't grant permission?
Yeah, so another problem here is that most people don't even think about Web 2 security before they Web 3. Right. A lot of the threats that we keep on seeing are Web 2 threats. They're remote access Trojans, they're malware, they're password stealers. These already existed before even Web 3 came around. So what these malicious characters are doing is they're using password stealers, they're using malware and Trojans and keyloggers in order to basically steal your crypto assets as well, not just your Web 2 assets. So this is why we love to talk about Web 2 before we Web 3. The importance of having an antivirus so that you don't deal with a scenario where you're installing a fake MetaMask or an Unreal Engine 5 VIP invite that you were chosen to beta test, or a fake Zoom application because the person that's trying to scam you is telling you that they don't use Zoom and to use this application instead. These are all Web 2 threats. And this is why Web 2 before you Web 3 is so important, which is why we have the Wallet Guard Academy. So everything that I'm going to be speaking about, everything I have spoken about so far is all available in one place on our website, walletguard.app, and it's all open source and completely free. So the Wallet Guard Academy makes it so that we actually did all the research for the users. There's articles on how to create your first wallets, how to keep your seed phrase secure, what to do, God forbid your wallet does get drained. So being able to provide that education and also bring it back for the tooling, it's a win-win.
Yeah, there's so much good. I checked out the website. There's so much good stuff up there. And there's some other features that help the user out that we're going to talk about as well. But that's so like it. I never even really thought of it too much, that they use Web 2 to get to your Web 3. I don't know, it seems counterintuitive, but that's what happens. That's crazy, man. So
Yeah, I mean, just really quickly, if I could comment,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the scary thought is that we're planning on bringing the masses into crypto, but the masses don't even know how to manage their own passwords.
yeah.
They don't know the concept of an antivirus or an ad blocker. These are easy wins. These are things that unfortunately are not being taught in school. You're not taught how to audit your own devices. You're not taught how to keep your data and your privacy safe, let alone the concept of investments and mutual funds and stock market and debt management and encryption. These are all things that are essential, which is why conversations like this are so important, because we're able to bring up these topics and say, hey, let's take a step back. Let's make sure we set up our devices the right way. Let's make sure we understand what we're interacting with, and we have the right tools in place so that when we do onboard new people into the space, we're doing it the right way. It's not just a dream of making a ton of money. It's an understanding of what is this technology used for. Because the last thing that you want to deal with, and I bring up this example all the time, is if you're onboarding someone new into the space, you don't want that phone call the next day where they're telling you, I thought it was a free mint. Where are all my NFTs? Or I thought it was blur.com. It's actually blur.io. What happened to my wallet? This is the exact reason why we made WalletGuard, to make it seamless. And just to point out, so everybody knows, WalletGuard is not a wallet. We're not an NFT.
Yeah.
We're not a token. You don't have to connect to us or sign a signature in order to get a security layer. We're literally a zero-touch, open source, lightweight security solution for your wallet of choice. Why wouldn't you want to see what's happening before it happens? It's literally a no-brainer.
Definitely. And see, a lot of crypto and decentralization is great, but what new users don't understand, when these things happen, you get scammed. That's what decentralization is. There's no third party for you to call and get your funds back. It's a done deal,
Well, you're talking, Web 2, everyone's comfortable with hitting yes, accept, agree, continue, allow on anything that pops up on their devices. You do that in Web 3, you make the wrong click, you're losing everything, and the chances of you getting it back are almost zero. But this is also not practical for mass adoption. So you need to have some middle security layer that's going to break things down, like signatures, swaps, claims, mints, into plain English. That is essential in order to understand what you're interacting with. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're basically bringing it to the point where we're making Web3 human readable, because at the end of the day, an antivirus is not going to do what WalletGuard does, and WalletGuard is not an antivirus. This is a product that's specific between Web 2 and Web 3 that I think is essential for onboarding.
And the link to WalletGuard app is in the description. It's another browser extension that, like you said, it's not a wallet. And he also mentioned WalletGuard's open source. That's important to me. And if you're into crypto, and because if it's open source, you know what you're getting. If something's not open source, and you really don't know what the code is, and it could be anything.
And just to point out, we have a direct developer pipeline from the GitHub to the Chrome store. So that shows that the exact code the user is installing when they're using WalletGuard. A lot of extensions, a lot of security products claim that they are open source, but they haven't updated their repos in months. We have a direct developer pipeline from the Chrome store so that users know as transparently as possible exactly what they're installing, which I think transparency is how you build trust in Web3, because Web3 trust is extremely hard, but building trust as a security company is even harder. Which is, again, why I want to give that shout out to our users. Starting off 2023 with 5,000 users and, passing 70,000 users with over 100,000 wallets protected is just insane numbers that we're seeing. So
right on, Michael. That's good stuff, man. I hope everybody's paying attention and taking notes out there. So,
hey, look, even if they are taking notes, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people are not going to care about doing this 2-second step until they get their wallet drained. Mm-hmm. This is just human nature, unfortunately. You're not going to care about protecting your assets or anything that I'm saying during this conversation until something goes wrong. And this is the same concept of Web 2. In my IT company that I had, people would come in and they would say, oh, I lost all of my files. Can you help me get them back from my computer? We would ask them, do you have a backup? Of course, they didn't have a backup. So we would help them get their files back. And we would say, hey, let's set up a backup. It only takes 2 minutes. And they would say, no, I got to go. I'll do it later. I promise, blah, blah, blah. They'd come back in months later And this time they either lost their computer or they spilled water on it, or it's really not turning on. And we're asking them again, did you ever turn that backup on? No, but I'm going to do it now. That's human nature, unfortunately. But it's like beating a dead horse to a certain point. No matter what it is, whether it's a compromised Discord that's dropping a fake mint, whether it's a SIM swapped Twitter page that's telling you about an airdrop and to go and claim it, whether it's a DM from some random person telling you to beta test a game or to connect your wallet to this DApp, no matter what the scenario is, WalletGuard is going to stop it. And it does that because we have machine learning. We're not a manual whitelist, blacklist. We actually have built a security engine that's able to detect wallet drainers and scams within seconds of them being spun up. It could be the middle of the night. A scammer creates a fake website, a fake contract, whatever the case is. WalletGuard, within seconds, all of the users are protected. That's how we are able to basically stay ahead of being able to secure our users. This is constantly changing. So if we're able to do that, I think this is how we change the sentiment of the space.
Right. All great stuff, Michael. I really appreciate your time for going over these things. So this is another question that I get a lot. Should I disconnect from Dexus? And for new users, that's a decentralized exchange. Should I disconnect my wallet from Dexus and sites after transacting, or is there any risk of leaving it connected?
Disconnecting your website from a DApp, disconnecting your wallet from a DApp is a local action to your device. This is a common misconception. This is completely different from revoking an on-chain approval. And we actually have the WalletGuard security dashboard. So when you grab the browser extension, or if you go to dashboard.walletguard.app, which is also mobile friendly, you can run a health scan on your wallet. Right now it supports Ethereum when it comes to the security dashboard. And it lets you know all of your assets at risk. It lets you see all of your open approvals, and you can revoke them directly in the dashboard to improve your wallet health. And it also break down any honeypots or malicious transactions that are sitting in your wallet that you shouldn't be interacting with. So this way we're able to show the user, hey, this is what is truly at risk. Because disconnecting your wallet from a website doesn't really do anything. Maybe it makes it one step easier for them to prompt you, but that's not an on-chain action that is local to the device, which is why revoking an on-chain approval costs gas. It's something that is on the blockchain. It is not local to your laptop or your smartphone. So one big example that I'd like to give is about a month ago, the NFT trader contract was compromised. And what ended up happening was people that even had ledgers or Trezors, hardware wallets with Bored Apes on their wallets, had their Bored Apes taken out of their wallets because of an approval that they forgot about that they might have gave NFT Trader about a year ago or 2 years ago. This is why it's so important to teach users about the importance of revoking on-chain approvals. And I'll give you this one final example. OpenSea and Blur, they have updated their contracts multiple times because of exploits. We are currently on Seaport 1.4, which is what OpenSea is using for their smart contract to list and sell your NFTs. The reason why we're on 1.4 again is because there were exploits prior. So let's say you have an old OpenSea approval on a collection in your wallet that you actually care about. An attacker or a fake website or even a gasless signature could list your assets for 0 ETH in a private sale directly to the attacker's wallet on OpenSea. And this is how people get their assets drained half the time, because they have open approvals sitting on their assets and they don't realize that gives the ability for an attacker to rip those assets out of their wallet.
So it's the opener. So if you left it like connected to Uniswap and Uniswap got hacked, your wallet would probably still be okay, if I understand that correctly?
If you're using Uniswap and you gave approval to the Uniswap contract and the Uniswap contract gets exploited and you have an open approval, you are putting your assets at risk.
Okay. But if it's just connected and you don't have any open approvals, would your wallet be okay?
Yeah, but generally when you connect to Uniswap, right? You're gonna do something, right? Like you're gonna swap, you're gonna sign a signature, you're gonna approve something. But let's pretend you just went to Uniswap, connected your wallet, never did anything, and the Uniswap contract was compromised. You're not affected because you did not interact with the Uniswap contract. All you did was connect your wallet to their website.
Gotcha. And it's just good to know to kind of have a better understanding about those things. I've always disconnected my wallet just because I just thought it was safe. It makes me uncomfortable or whatever. But it's good to understand all these things for sure. And it's great to have Wallet Guard out there and that.
Yeah, and by the
educated.
way, when it comes to approvals, we even have an Approvals 101 article in the Wallet Guard Academy, again, available for free, completely free. And it breaks down everything about approvals, what are approvals, why you should revoke them, why some of them are safe to leave open because you might have a staking contract that you're interacting with. So again, it goes full circle back to education. If we're giving the user all that information, then they can understand what they're interacting with and do it in a safe manner.
Right on, man. And the link is down in the description. I definitely encourage everybody to check that out. So this is kind of a broad question, but what are the biggest threats that you see out there to new crypto users every day? If you had to pick one, what's the biggest threat and what you see most people getting scammed on?
Social engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it is running rampant. People are in other people's DMs, acting like they're friends, acting like they have a job offer or a documentary that they're making or a game that they want the person to test out. I mean, there's so many examples of social engineering, and they're also tied directly to phishing scams. So phishing scams are, basically they're trying to obfuscate or make it look like the real thing when it's really not. Spinning up a carbon copy of a website of a project and, trying to push it onto people and people thinking it's real and they get phished because of it. So social engineering combined with phishing, I think, which are both Web 2 threats that are being used in Web 3, I think are one of the biggest things to look out for. One of the other parts of Wallet Guard is phishing detection. So we're actually able to determine if the website you're visiting is attempting to mimic a real project. So you might type OpenSea incorrectly. You might click on a Twitter ad that looks like it's a real project. We're going to notify you, hey, this isn't the real thing, right? So you're not double, questioning what the hell is this contract or this website going to do? And that's, again, unlimited value. Why wouldn't you want that security layer? So I think, again, social engineering and phishing combined are really one of the biggest threats. And the best tip that I can give for people to stay safe from both is that if you are receiving any sort of communication and you are not inciting the action, then it is most likely a scam. And what I mean by that is if you are getting a text message, if you are getting a DM, if you are getting a phone call or an email telling you to do anything, let's say it's FedEx, Amazon, Microsoft, Bored Ape Yacht Club, the IRS, no matter who it is, who are they claiming to be? If they are asking you to do something, it is most likely a scam and you should go to the source instead. And to put this into perspective, let's say you get a text message from your bank about a fraudulent charge on your credit card. Do not entertain the links inside of the text message. Go directly to your bank's or your credit card's website and confirm if what this notification is actually legitimate. You might have ordered something from Amazon and you get an email from FedEx about your shipment. Do not entertain the links inside of the email from supposedly FedEx about your shipment. Go directly to Amazon or FedEx to check your shipment. That's how we can keep people safe, is by going to the source and understanding that whenever you're receiving something and a request to do something, to click on a link, to open an attachment, to interact with something, that's most likely a scam. And to share that information with your parents and your grandparents is also super important. These are Web 2 scams that run rampant, that they could be actively being scammed right now and they don't even know about it, right? Mm-hmm. So just easy wins, easy tips that we could share so we could not only protect our Web 3, but protect our Web 2 and our friends and family at the same time.
Yeah, it goes back to Web 2 again, man. So I was so impressed with Wallet Guard and all the features it has and the fraudulent website. So we touched on that a little bit already. So is that 100%, or do users still need to, like, what level? Can you go into that a little bit more about the fraudulent website? Like, if you have Wallet Guard, do you never need to worry about a fraudulent website, or is it still a chance like Wallet Guard can't catch everything, or what's your take on that?
Definitely a great question. Nothing is 100% secure. No matter what you're doing, whether how many firewalls you have, how many antiviruses you're using, if you have Wallet Guard installed along with 10 other tools, you still have to stay vigilant and you still have to keep your eyes open as to what you're clicking on. What we're trying to do with Wallet Guard is we're making it so that we are providing as much information as possible about what's going to happen before it happens. It's still up to the user to determine and confirm what's going to happen. There are false positives. But we're very happy that those false positives are at such a low level because of how strong our phishing detection and our security engine is. So again, nothing's 100%. You still got to keep your eyes peeled. If anyone ever tells you that their security tool or their antivirus is going to secure you 100%, it's a complete lie. And I think that it's super important to also note this, and this unfortunately happened to a user last month, not a user that had WalletGuard installed, but a user that thought a VPN was an antivirus, and they actually ended up installing a fake Trojan that was claiming to be a piece of software. They installed a Trojan on their computer. It had a password stealer. It took all their credentials. And the reason why they thought that is because the VPN was advertising itself as an antivirus. And full circle back to education, you need both. What are the differences? That's what we're breaking down in the academy. We want users to know that, hey, this is what you can do to get as close to 100% as possible, and also to know what to do in case something goes wrong.
Right on, man. I mean, this is such good stuff. And so another feature I was just like blown away by is the simulating transactions. That just I was so impressed with that. Could you go into that a little bit more in depth?
Yeah, so we actually, depending on whatever interaction you're doing, before you hand it off to your preferred wallet, before you hand it off to your Ledger or your MetaMask or your Phantom, whatever it is that you choose to use for Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Optimism, we are adding more support, but currently we support those 4 chains, Ethereum, Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum. We're able to simulate transactions, swaps, claims, mints, signatures, pretty much any interaction into plain English before you hand it off to your wallet of choice. So you could see you are sending, you are receiving. So for example, if you go to a website that says, this is a free mint it now, you connect your wallet. Before your wallet opens up, WalletGuard says, this isn't a free mint. You're sending out your assets. You're not receiving anything in return. I mean, that right there, the user should know, okay, this isn't real. I'm going to reject this. I'm not going to continue. So being able to provide transactions in plain English and make it easy to digest is super important. There are other security tools that go in depth. They break down the hex code. They include a lot of terminology. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it user-friendly, grandma-friendly, to the point where this is what's happening. Do you want to continue? We don't recommend continuing because of this fact, right?
And it doesn't take any gas, right?
What's up?
It doesn't take any gas to do that?
Correct. None of that takes gas. All we're doing is simulating what's going to happen before it happens and before you actually approve it the way you would normally without WalletGuard, right? So again, we're not a wallet. We're not telling you to do any sort of interaction. We don't have the ability to move your assets for you. We're just telling you as a Web 2.5 layer what's going to happen before it goes down. I could actually show an example if I could share the screen.
Yeah, man. Go for it.
All right, give me one sec here. We're going to do like an example of WalletGuard, for example, like on just buying an NFT on OpenSea.
Cool.
Let's share the screen here.
Yeah. I think if you share the screen, it'll come up now.
Okay, let's see. Just sharing the entire screen here. Let me know if you could see that.
All right.
You can see that?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So, yeah, so let's just go to OpenSea. And we're just going to go to Cool Collection, Naya links. We're just going to pretend to buy an NFT in this scenario. So obviously what we're going to be doing, the interaction is legit. I just want to show you what WalletGuard looks like before you actually hand it off to your wallet of choice. So here's WalletGuard. And what you're going to see are multiple different examples, multiple pieces of information instead of just a gas fee. So we're able to determine the chain that we're interacting with, the website that we're on, and whether it's verified by WalletGuard. I think I could change the view of the screen to be a little easier here. One second. I could actually focus on the simulation window.
Yeah, sharing your screen on StreamYard can be a little weird sometimes.
There you go. All right. So this is what's opening before your wallet of choice opens. So you're able to see the chain that you're interacting with, the website that you're on, and whether it's verified by WalletGuard, if it's actually claiming to be what it is, in this case, OpenSea. You can see the contract that you're interacting with. It's the latest Seaport contract verified on Etherscan. You could see the estimated gas value, which is the only thing you would see in most wallets. You're seeing exactly what you are sending and its value, and you're seeing exactly what you are receiving and its value as well. So in this case, it's an NFT. You see the floor price on OpenSea, but if it were a token, you would see that value. So we're pulling information from about 5 to 6 different providers and showing it to the user in a clean interface so they understand what's about to happen before it happens. Now, the great part about our transaction simulations is that we actually have AI built right in. So our AI tool is called ChatWeb3, and you can talk to your transactions in plain English. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to ask it to explain this transaction. So our AI tool is going to look at on-chain data about what we're about to interact with. And it's going to break it down into plain English, including all of the metrics associated with the transaction, like what you're interacting with, the gas fee that's associated, if there's any risks for phishing, or if this is actually a contract that it's not what it's claiming to be. So this is how we teach people about what they're going to interact with before they hand things off to their wallet of choice. Now, the other great part about our transaction simulation is that this also supports multiple levels of context and also multiple languages. There's over 90 languages. So we could say, now explain that in Spanish, like I'm 5 years old. So what the AI model is going to do is it's going to look at on-chain data. It's going to break it down into the context of a 5-year-old, and it's going to turn it into Spanish. So the user, again, understands and learns about what they're doing, whether it's a swap, a claim, a mint, a signature, whatever the heck it is.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the most impressive features of Wallet Guard. I mean, it's all impressive, but the simulating transaction, we're getting a lot of people in the comments pointing that out. Somebody just asked, do you get false positives? What's the accuracy in determining scams?
Yeah, I mean, our false positive, as far as being able to determine, is over 99%. We pretty much hit it on the dot most of the time. Again, nothing is 100%. There are still new threats that arise that we have to keep our eyes peeled and have to constantly, make sure that our machine learning model is up to date and that we're still able to protect it, which is why I always say you still have to keep your eyes peeled. It's just like having an antivirus, right? The antivirus definitions, there might be a 0-day. You still got to understand that you can't just go and click everything and expect it to protect you no matter what. We just want to make sure that there is this level of security so that you can understand exactly what's going to happen before you actually proceed with it. Otherwise, you're sitting there doing what? Unable to read signatures, not understanding solidity, don't understand how to read smart contracts or how to determine if a website's actually phishing. Like, the last thing I want to do is sign a signature that I can't have presented to me in plain English. Like, you're sitting there sweating. Why? Just use Wallet Guard. It's going to break it down.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's free, and I don't know why anybody wouldn't use it at this point. And for the guys in the comments, Jim's having some internet issues right now, but he should be back online soon. He'll start giving masks away. Some of the features you just saw kind of led me into my next question about the chat bot, of how you have an AI chat bot that will answer the question. So you have questions. There's a tool to, an AI tool to ask. You don't have to. It's got lots of features on the website to look at that too. But you have a chat bot that'll help you out.
Yeah. So it's called ChatWeb3. I could also give like a quick rundown of ChatWeb3 as well. It's mobile friendly. So I see a couple of questions asking if we're mobile friendly and stuff like that. So I'd like to address that.
Sure. Yeah, that was the next question I was going to ask about the mobile side. So yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
so the Wallet Guard browser extension is for desktop browsers. So whether you have Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Brave, Opera, the browser extension is our full-fledged product that has phishing detection, transaction simulation, the security dashboard, the AI tool, everything's in one. And that supports desktop environments, desktop browsers. We also are partnered with MetaMask. So you can actually turn Wallet Guard on inside of your MetaMask without having to have it as a separate browser extension. That is currently also only for desktop MetaMask. They are releasing it for mobile soon. It's through their Snaps platform, which we were part of their launch partners with. So you'll actually be able to turn on Wallet Guard inside of your MetaMask on mobile soon. But for right now, you can use it on your desktop, just like the browser extension. Then we have the security dashboard. The security dashboard is mobile friendly. It works no matter what you're using, desktop, laptop, whatever browser you decide to use. That helps you see all your on-chain approvals. That gives you a wallet health score, helps you improve your health score, revoke approvals, see honeypots. That's mobile friendly. That's ready to go as well. And then the Chat Web3 AI tool is also mobile friendly. None of these require, as far as the mobile friendly stuff, for you to install an app or for you to sign up for an account. It's literally something that you just jump right in and you start using immediately. So I'll show you a quick example of a couple of these here.
Sure. While you're getting that ready, so it was, it's on most all major browsers and stuff like that. Any chance that it will be compatible with Mask browser?
I mean, there's something that we could have a topic of conversation there. I'm pretty sure we are in the process of talking with them about it. So I definitely think that's something to come down the line for sure. I mean, why wouldn't you want that additional security layer on top of, Mask, right? I mean, that would be like triple win.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, Mask and Wallet Guard, let's go.
if Kari's not watching it right now, I'm sure he'll watch it later. So there you go. I'm sure you'll be getting a DM from Kari to set that up.
For sure. So really quickly, just to break it down again, we got the browser extension completely free, ready to go for your desktop browsers. It lets you see wallet drainers. It lets you see phishing scams before you even connect your wallet or run simulations. But if you do, it also has transaction simulation built right in, which we just gave you guys an example of, and also showed you how our AI tool makes it even more user-friendly, turns it into plain English, essentially. We also, by the way, love working with communities. Everything that we do with communities is also 100% free. So if you're a project, you're an NFT, you're a dApp, let's talk about wallet safety with your community. Let's co-host a Twitter space. Let's do a Discord security session. We're going to teach your users about wallet safety. We're going to talk to them about Web 2 before you Web 3. Because a lot of times, a lot of communities don't talk about that stuff until someone gets rugged, which is the exact opposite of what we should be doing. Mm-hmm. So the browser extension, completely free. We got over 70,000 users on that right now. It takes 2 seconds to install and you're good to go. The MetaMask Snap, you can turn it on directly in MetaMask. This is also, again, available for desktop. It's coming to mobile soon. It lets you see alert notifications, lets you have the access to the security dashboard. And again, it turns on in seconds. Guys, there's no more excuses for people to lose their assets. You literally turn this on in a few seconds and you're ready to go. Then we have the Wallet Guard Academy, which is our educational resource. Again, completely free and open, no token gating, nothing to buy, no NFT to purchase. And this is where we break down how to manage your passwords, how to safeguard your keys, what antivirus to use, what password manager to use, what to do if you got drained. Okay, this is all available, and this is also mobile friendly. All of the articles are mobile friendly. Then we have our AI tool, Chat Web3. So this is where you could choose the level of context that you are familiar with crypto. Let's say we're new to Web3, and let's ask it a generic question like, what is a wallet? Asking ChatGPT, what is a wallet? And asking Chat Web3, what is a wallet? You will get drastically different answers. We have Chat Web3 guardrailed to focus on crypto context, like DeFi, blockchain, and NFTs. So ChatGPT would talk about a physical wallet, that it's made out of leather, that you keep it in your pocket. Maybe later on, it'll talk about crypto wallets. But what we have is Chat Web3 focusing on crypto context. So you could talk to it in plain English in over 90 languages, and it also performs those transaction simulations with on-chain data and breaks it down for the user. And finally, we also have our security dashboard. So our security dashboard, this is also mobile friendly, dashboard.walletguard.app. And basically what you do is you connect your wallet, it runs a health analysis, it looks at all the open approvals, checks to see if you have any honeypots. It even checks if your browser extensions for your wallets are up to date, which is something your browser doesn't do natively. So we're really trying to make it easy in order to help people understand and secure their wallets and to really also educate them at the same time. And there's lots of different parts to the security dashboard. For example, let's say you're onboarding a new friend into crypto, or you're talking with a group of friends about MetaMask or OpenSea or Blur or Phantom. The next day, they might go and try to figure this stuff out themselves. They might go to Google and type install MetaMask and click on a fake advertisement. And without even getting into crypto, they already scammed themselves. So the first thing they should be doing is actually getting Wallet Guard. Wallet Guard is going to guide them through the right links, the right resources. So we actually have a dApp store. with all the official links to all of the most known dApps and wallets and all the resources that we could put together. So your friends are looking for a wallet provider. They jump in, they tap on the wallet tag. These are all the official links for MetaMask and Phantom and Rabby and SafePal and Xverse. Everything is made to streamline the experience and to make the onboarding frictionless for the user.
Yeah, so there's a lot of there was a few questions in the comments, and I guess Jim's still having internet issues. But you guys in the comments, I'll keep up with you, and I'll send the mask out if we need to, if Jim doesn't get back online here soon. Some people are asking, well, how does Wallet Guard sustain itself if everything's free?
Definitely a great question. Let me stop the stream here and we'll jump into that. All right. So as of right now, everything is free and is open source, including the extension, the MetaMask Snap, the Academy, the security dashboard, pretty much everything that we're doing. What we're going to be doing over the next few months is we're going to be launching Wallet Guard Pro. Wallet Guard Pro is going to help offset the cost of us running these APIs. This past year was a chance for us to have proof of product, to show people that Wallet Guard is a real tool, it works, and we've been able to save tens of millions of dollars for users to get to this point of over 70,000 people that are using Wallet Guard on a weekly basis. So basically what it comes down to is proof of product and then activating a pro feature. And the pro feature is for those heavy users. It's going to give them unlimited transaction simulations, unlimited phishing detection. It's going to help us offset the cost for everybody else because we will always remain open source and free for the sake of onboarding. And the other great thing that we're doing is we're actually going to have different packages. So you'll be able to get Wallet Guard Pro for a very cost-effective $5 to $8 a month if you need it, right? Because the free version should be able to handle more than 90% of what people are doing. So you could get Wallet Guard Pro for that very cost-effective $5 to $8 a month. Then we're going to have different packages. One of the packages is going to be Wallet Guard Pro plus an antivirus. So you're getting Web 2 security and Web 3 security in one package. Then we're going to have another package, which is Wallet Guard Pro plus an antivirus plus a crypto insurance policy. So you'll be able to not only cover your Web 2 and Web 3 security, but also have a fail-safe through an insurance policy that covers your crypto assets. We're literally trying to make it so that regardless of whether you're a brand new user, you're a seasoned degen, you have $0, or you have tens of thousands of dollars in assets, there is an option available for you to add a security layer to your wallet and also have a fail-safe on top of it. That's how we're going to monetize, and that's how we're going to change the landscape to make sure that when people are mass onboarding, they actually understand what's happening.
And probably, I assume there'll be some more info on that when the Killer Whale show comes out.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be crazy.
So I take it so you guys, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here. You guys don't have a plan to have a token or an airdrop down the road because it seems like it doesn't really jive with what you guys want to do.
So currently there are no plans. I can't really comment on that. But we do have a lot of activations, and I'll give you a quick example. So about 2 months ago, we did a collaboration with Cat. Cat is a legendary meme artist. Shout out to Chris, creator of Cat. And what we did was we dropped a Wallet Guard and Cat collaborative NFT. And we paid for everyone's gas. We paid for everybody's mints. And all they had to do was grab Wallet Guard, learn about wallet safety, and claim their NFT for free from a legendary meme artist. And we were able to have over 97,000 mints completed. That's 97,000 people that potentially even more than half were onboarded by spending $0 to get their first NFT, to create their first wallet, to also learn about wallet safety. So now they could start their journey off in a way that's completely different from what we started off with, which was coming into the space and shooting in the dark. Think about how game-changing that is to be able to tell somebody that wants to get into crypto, to be able to tell one of your friends that wants their first NFT, hey, go to Wallet Guard, grab your first wallet, mint your first NFT, learn about wallet security, and you have something legendary in your wallet, and you didn't have to spend a single penny because Wallet Guard paid for all the gas and all of the mint fees. This is how we're changing the landscape, and we actually have another incentive running right now. If you actually go to the Wallet Guard security dashboard and run a security scan, you get entered to win a kid called Beast. And if you refer a friend, for every referral that runs a scan, you get an additional entry to win a kid called Beast. We're going to be picking the winner on the 24th. We actually did this last month with Little Pudgies, and there was over 16,000 scans that were run in this promotion, and we gave away that little pudgy to an awesome winner. So we can't wait to give away this kid called Beast, and we're going to be running these campaigns nonstop. These are all ways to help onboarding and also help teach people about crypto, where they don't have to spend anything, they don't have to buy an NFT, they don't have to do anything except take a second to see what Wallet Guard is.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna keep an eye on check that out because you said 70,000 downloads. It seems low when you think about how many crypto users there are, really. So
that's why it's important for people to realize what it is, right? People, I could literally beat a dead horse and talk about this nonstop. And like I said before, unfortunately, people just aren't going to take the 2 seconds to get Wallet Guard until they get drained the first time. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, we'll help you after you get drained, but naturally we're going to tell you the same thing that we're telling you right now, which is to get Wallet Guard. It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah. And this is a really important topic to me, because, I run that Telegram group and a lot of new users in it. And that's why I reached out to Kari about if he had any contacts to do this, because, people commit suicide over this shit, man. Like, it's not a joke out there with wallet security and the stories you see of people getting drained and everything when, Wallet Guard really could prevent so much of this. Like you said, over $40 million dollars saved from $40 million taken from scammers is one way you could look at it.
Yeah, I mean, look, like even though we aren't monetized yet, like when we see those DMs, when we see people talking about, yo, Wallet Guard actually helped save my wallet, right? Like, that's worth millions of dollars to us. That's why we're here in this hacker house every single day building out this application. That's why our goal is nothing except Wallet Guard. We are laser focused, and you could tell that by how much we've built this product in just a year's time. It literally went from just phishing detection to proactive phishing detection, transaction simulation, wallet approvals dashboard, security dashboard, Wallet Guard Academy. We're scaling so quickly. And I think it's because once people see what Wallet Guard is and they take the 2 seconds to just go to our website and understand what it is, it's literally a no-brainer. I see the question here. So I would use your browser instead of Brave. No, that is incorrect. So Wallet Guard is not a browser. Wallet Guard is not a wallet. We're not an NFT. We're not a token. We're not replacing your wallet. We're not replacing your browser. I know this is mind-blowing to think that you literally don't have to change anything in order to get a security layer. We're just a browser extension, right? We're a plugin on top of whatever you're currently using. So it doesn't matter what your wallet of choice is, what your browser of choice is. You'll literally be able to use Wallet Guard on top of whatever your current configuration is, as long as we're having support for it. So, for example, phishing detection is blockchain agnostic. Transaction simulation currently supports Ethereum, Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum. We are working on Base and Binance Smart Chain support, and we're going to be rolling out more EVMs soon. So the goal in the end is to be blockchain agnostic, no matter what you're using, what wallet provider, but we're very close to that right now.
But that's my guy, Blockchain, Rick James. But if you are looking for a new browser, then about Mask. I know you know about that. So another question I was going to ask you, are there any specific wallets that you recommend or favor over the other? Because you see these comments all the time. MetaMask is a dinosaur. Phantom is scammy. But is that true? Like, is MetaMask less secure than other like Rabby or some of these newer wallets? Or what's your take on that?
99.9% of the time, the security is the person that's sitting behind the device. That's really what it comes down to. I've seen people say MetaMask is a scam, and then I figure out that they actually didn't install MetaMask. They installed malware, and they thought that it was MetaMask. These are all scenarios that can be easily prevented by going to the right links and understanding what you're clicking on before you do it. So even the situation with what happened with Ledger, where they released their seed phrase recovery service, and they kind of like messed up on the way that they announced it. So people thought like, oh my God, my seed phrase is now sharded between 3 different companies. I didn't want that. It's just a matter of reading. You don't have to enable that feature. You don't even have to go into that section. You could keep everything offline at the same time, right? So, it really comes down to, first off, what chains, and also what the compatibility is for what you decide to use. Whether it's Phantom, it's MetaMask, it's Rabby, it's Ledger, it's Trezor. They all do what they're supposed to do. It's a matter of the user understanding what it is. I've seen people buy ledgers and then generate their seed phrase offline on the ledger, which is what you're supposed to do. And then they type the ledger seed phrase into their MetaMask on their computer, therefore rendering the ledger completely useless because now you've exposed the seed phrase to the internet. It's just like the same concept of not understanding the difference between disconnecting your wallet from a website and revoking an on-chain approval. So my opinion, it comes down to the user. I also just saw someone was asking, are you looking at partnerships with big exchanges like Coinbase? Wallet Guard should be a requirement for all noobs taking their first crypto steps. I agree with you. I think it's important for Wallet Guard to be the first step. I think if you're not talking about security when you're onboarding somebody into the space, you're actually doing them a disservice. You're lining them up for failure to not even mention, hey, stay safe, keep your eyes peeled. It doesn't even have to be about Wallet Guard. It could literally be just a note or something that's like, yo, make sure you read before you click next, or make sure you're on the right website. No one cares. No one talks about that until their friend's calling them up and saying, yo, what happened? My $500 is gone. You know, like, that's scary stuff. So of course, I highly agree. Wallet Guard should be a default. And just also a big shout out to Coinbase and Brian Armstrong. We actually were part of the we're part of the Protect Your Crypto. There was like a whole initiative that they had. They went down to Washington, D.C., and this was during when the talks about the ETFs were happening, and Gary Gensler was there. This was a few months ago. The co-founder Ohm went down to Washington, D.C. with the ATX DAO with Brian Armstrong, and we lobbied for crypto. He went there in person and lobbied for crypto. So I think, like, you know, if anyone does their research on Wallet Guard and sees how much we've done, and like, we're real people, we're all docs, we come from Fortune 500 companies, we're backed by amazing leaders in the space, we're partnered with Chainalysis and MetaMask. Like, this is game-changing stuff. Like, you just got to take 2 seconds to want to see what this is, and it'll be a game changer, especially considering we work. It's a real tool that works.
I can't wait to see the Killer Whales episode. I'm really looking forward to that. You know, my guy Smells Fun here. He's in a Telegram group. We talk a bit. Send this to your friends, and definitely, because, you know, like I said, I'm a trader, and I try to help people make money. But it doesn't matter if you can't secure it. You know, you haven't made anything if it doesn't get to the end point of where you're trying to get scammed instead and on the way there.
Exactly.
So when it comes to private keys, a little off top, you know, switching gears a little bit. Do you have any tips for and I know securing your private keys, it can seem like obvious. Just don't send them to people, hide it somewhere. You know, me personally, I have them in a safe deposit box at a bank that takes 2 keys to open. That's one way that's securing. But what do you suggest?
I mean, look, think about it. Someone at the bank has access to that safety deposit box.
No, it's 2 keys. So I have so it takes 2 keys to open, and I have the only other key.
Well, master lock. I mean, let's pretend that you passed away and they had no access to anything of your, like, they'd have to get into your safety deposit box. Yeah. Right.
Good point. Yeah, I guess.
So if someone has access to it, they have access. And look,
they assured me that no one else had the key, and
it doesn't matter. Human element. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything.
Well, that's why I'm at. So, good question. Then what do you suggest?
This is a great question. The first thing that I'd like to suggest is that when it comes to saving your private keys, your seed phrases, or your multi-factor backup codes, do not keep them in a digital format. So keeping it in a password protected Excel file is a digital format. Keeping it in your password vault, in your password manager, is a digital format. Texting it to yourself is digital. Saving it in a notepad file, emailing it, taking a photo of it, these are all a digital format. And some people might say, well, I only took a photo of it at this point in time, and then I deleted it, and it doesn't matter. You could have iCloud backup turned on, sitting in your trash. Someone gets in your iCloud account, they look at your trash, they got your seed phrase, they got your private key. When I really want to stress this as much as I can, do not keep your private keys or seed phrases in a digital format, no matter what. The best thing to do is to write it offline, whether it's on paper or a steel plate. But also, this is very important, do not put all of your eggs in one basket, meaning do not write your entire seed phrase on a single piece of paper. What were to happen if I were to find that piece of paper? What do you think I'm doing with it? I have full access to your wallet because you left everything on one basket, right? So in your case, where you have it in a safety deposit box, what I would have done is I would have split it into 2, would have kept it in 2 different safety deposit boxes that are in 2 different banks. And then this way, you know for a fact the chances of 2 employees from completely separate banks, finding each other, lining up, finding out about you, knowing you have crypto, getting access to the, right? Like you're kind of minimizing the amount of variables in order to compromise yourself. You also want to get it to the point where you're not overthinking this. I don't want you to obfuscate your seed phrase or private key to the point where you can't recover it yourself or you forget how you saved it. So this comes down to keeping it offline, not keeping it in a digital format, and making sure that you're not keeping it all in one place. Making it so that, hey, you have a 24-word seed phrase. There's actually a feature on Ledger where you could add a 25th word, and that word is something that maybe you just don't write down anywhere. You have memorized, and so does your parents. They have it memorized too, just in case. So even if someone were to find your full Ledger seed phrase, they still don't have access to your wallet. Or let's say you have a MetaMask seed phrase. It's just 12 words. Memorize the 6th word, the one in the middle, just in case someone finds that piece of paper and they type it into MetaMask and unlock all your wallet assets. Mm-hmm. These are things that are such easy security tips that even the wallet providers are not telling you when they're telling you to set up your wallet, right?
I've never thought about that or even heard of it before, to write half your seed phrase somewhere else and half some other place, or what you said, leave one word out that
let's say if you can't memorize a single word and neither can your parents, for the sake of then just you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing here? You're like
so Blockchain had another question about running the scan on the approvals. If there's zero value, is it worth revoking?
Okay, great question. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I have a Bored Ape in my wallet and I used the OpenSea contract from 2 years ago to list that Bored Ape. So I have an open approval on an old OpenSea contract and I listed my Bored Ape and it's sold. It's out of my wallet. Now the value of that approval is $0. In the future, I decide to buy a Bored Ape again. I forgot that I had an open approval on an old exploited OpenSea contract in my wallet. The Bored Ape comes, I buy a brand new Bored Ape. It now is no longer, that approval is no longer worth $0. It's worth X amount of dollars, right? 50,000, 60,000, whatever the case is. If you don't plan on ever interacting with that asset again in that wallet, doesn't make sense to waste gas to revoke the approval. But if you do plan on interacting with it or bringing it back to that wallet in the future, then of course I would say revoke that approval. In the scenario that you're talking about, it says if there's a zero value, is it worth revoking? I.e., you sold all the NFTs from that collection and you don't plan on getting back into that collection, then it doesn't make sense to pay gas to revoke that approval because you don't plan on interacting with that collection again in that wallet.
Cool. And one thing, Jim's back, so he's gonna give away some masks now, and you can give away some of the comments you already seen. We probably don't have a whole lot of time left here, Jim. But back to the private seed phrase. This is something that I've told people a lot. You said don't store it digitally, but I know so many people, they screenshot it, and when you give an app access to your photos, you're giving them access to that screenshot of the private key. But I know so many people, they screenshot it and then they go, well, I'll handle it later. And then they don't. But, he already said don't store it digitally, but definitely don't take a screenshot and just leave it in your photo stream. Definitely don't do that.
I think a lot of people don't realize how much data scatter they have. And the terminology that I like to use with data scatter is, you've had devices your whole life, right? And you've probably used services like Google Drive or Dropbox or iCloud or, even a Samsung backup, whatever the case is. Like there's so many backup services out there that really prompt you on initial install saying, do you want to back up everything on your computer too? Or do you want to back up everything on your device too? And what do most people do? They hit yes because they just want to use the app and move on with their lives. They're not reading what it's doing. So it's literally making a carbon copy of everything on your device, including photos and videos, to some third-party server sitting somewhere that you probably forgot about and years later gets tapped into or hacked because you used a weak password or a leaked password. I mean, this is how people get their data compromised. This is how people lose their assets because they forget that they've left this data lingering somewhere, maybe in an old gallery, maybe in the trash bin on one of their old accounts on Dropbox, maybe on Google Drive. This is the importance of doing an audit on yourself, on your own devices. Think about the smartphone that you're holding in your hand. When's the last time that you went in and got rid of applications that you're not using. These applications are made by third parties. They're running in the background. They could be data mining you. They could have open exploits. They're using your battery life. They're using your data. They could be actively exploited, and they're sitting running in the background. This is the importance of going through your own devices and removing things that you are not using, removing potential risk factors that could be exploited. It's just like doing an audit on your own wallets, doing an audit on your own devices, your own accounts, purging things that you do not use, deleting accounts you no longer use, removing saved information from accounts. This is what I'm going to leave you with here. There is a website called pentester.com, pentester, pentester.com. It's mobile friendly. It's desktop friendly. You don't have to install anything. You don't have to make an account, and it is free. What you do is you go to pentester.com. You type in your email address, and it does a dark web scan on all the data leaks that you've been involved in. You might see passwords that you're still using to this moment on that data leak. You might see your social security number. You might see your phone number, your physical address. And guess what? If you're seeing it, the dark web is seeing it too. So you have to mitigate it. And when I say mitigate it, I mean take care of it right now. So if you see a password on the dark web that's leaked that you're still using, change that password immediately. If you see that your phone number is leaked on the dark web and you have your phone number tied to your Gmail account or tied to your Twitter profile, regardless, you should remove your phone number from all accounts and recovery methods and two-factor, because being SIM swapped is something that's not in your control. Unless you remove your phone number, then it's no longer an attack variable. So being able to go to Pentester, see everything that's exposed about you, and to mitigate it is the most important thing you could do right now. Second important, next to Wallet Guard, getting Wallet Guard, because that just takes 1 second. Like that takes even less time to do. So you could even type your mom's email or your dad's email address and call them up and scare the shit out of them and read them their own passwords and their own social and their own information. This is information that is out there that is very easy for you to check that it's out there and very easy for you to resolve and fix. I see one of the questions here. It says something about an email. I just saw it. My main email was leaked. What now? Your email is leaked. Everyone's email is public information, regardless, right? And I'm going to give you some scenarios here. Let's say I have your email address. Let's say I go and do a dark web scan. And with your email, I find out your phone number. Now I got your email and your phone number. Let's say you have your phone number tied to your Gmail account. I can now socially engineer that number or phish it or spoof you. And by socially engineer, I mean calling up your phone company and just convincing the person over the phone, that could just be a random worker, that I am you and to move your number to my account. This happens all the time. Happens every single day. You don't have control of people working at the phone company not paying attention and giving your phone number to some scammer, okay? So now I have your phone number. I have your email address. I use your phone number as a recovery method because you still have it tied to your email. Now I'm in your Gmail account. Guess what I'm doing? I'm resetting your passwords for your social networks, for your banks. Now I'm into everything else. And guess what I had to start off with? Just an email address. That's scary shit. Mitigate it. You can do that right now. You can fix this and stop it from happening. And all of these things that I talked about, again, are in the Wallet Guard Academy, completely free.
So, and I know you got to go. It's been on an hour. One more question I had to ask you was, are there other tools? Because a lot of this goes back to Web 2. And I know you gave out Pen Tester. Are there other tools that you would recommend for people to use besides Wallet Guard to help secure themselves?
100%. So in the Wallet Guard Academy, we got a best security practices article where we mention the best antivirus to use, the VPN to use, the password manager, the two-factor authenticator. Everything that I spoke about is in one place. We really tried to make it easy for you to be able to do a sit down and figure this all out in one day, and the next day wake up knowing you have strong, unique, randomly generated passwords. You've removed your phone number as an attack method on all of your accounts. You have a multi-factor authentication method that's not phone or text-based. You have a real antivirus with a real VPN, and you have active protection and Wallet Guard to wrap it up on your Web3 security. All of this, again, is in the Wallet Guard Academy. Really trying to make it easy. to secure people, and it's all free, guys. Like, we're not telling you to go buy hardware, firewall appliances, and spend thousands of dollars. This is all free.
We're not showing a token here, you know.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to buy nothing. Look, it's not my loss. Like, I don't care. Go raw dog the blockchain. It's not on me. You know, at the end of the day, but I care to the point where I see someone talking about losing their shit. That hurts me. Even if it's $10 asset, even if it's a $50, $100, it doesn't matter. It hurts. So please, let's be proactive with our security. Let's take the information that we've spoken about in this past hour and help share it, because it's completely free. And we're trying to make it easy for you guys to be able to secure your assets, for you to be able to protect your crypto.
I've looked through the Wallet Guard Security Academy, but I'm going to do a deeper dive in it. I'm really going to spend like a whole afternoon and just read all of it and everything like that. Somebody else asked about mobile. I think you addressed the mobile, right? Like Wallet Guard and mobile.
Yeah, so the browser extension and the MetaMask Snap are desktop only right now. The MetaMask Snap will be coming to mobile soon. The security dashboard and the Chat Web3 AI tool are mobile friendly. And I'm going to drop a little bit of alpha, 2 pieces of alpha in this live stream that no one else is going to get. Okay. First one, which we did kind of mention before, but just reaffirming it right now, is we're going to be introducing soft locking inside of the Wallet Guard browser extension. And what soft locking does is it allows you to lock your NFT assets, revoke approvals while locking, and make sure that even if a wallet drainer tries to take it out of your wallet, it doesn't have the ability to. You have to literally go back into the security dashboard and unlock it. So this can help you in times where you're not paying attention, or it's the middle of the night and you're interacting with something you don't understand and it's attempting to take assets from you that you've locked. So soft locking is coming soon. It's going to be a game changer when it comes down to protecting any of these assets, these NFTs that you don't plan on selling ever again. So that's massive. I did drop the information about the packages we're going to have when it comes down to Wallet Guard Pro, or Wallet Guard Pro plus an antivirus, or plus an insurance policy. Again, game-changing stuff. We got the Killer Whales episode that's going to be airing next month. Please, if you aren't already, follow the Wallet Guard Twitter account. We do weekly security spaces. We talk about wallet safety. We have security advocates that come up and talk on it there. So that's going to be game changing. And we are going to be releasing a little mobile security tool soon that's going to help you degen while you're using your mobile device. This is the alpha that I'm going to drop. You're actually going to be able to double check links for wallet drainers and risk factors before you actually do anything in your mobile wallet of choice, regardless if it's MetaMask or whatever you choose to use. So that tool is going to be dropping soon. It's going to be our mobile URL scanner. So you're on the go, you're at a concert and some free mint drops and you want to claim it's actually legit. You pop open the Wallet Guard URL scanner, you drop in the link and you confirm that it's real or not, and you're safe to degen. This is how, again, we're changing the landscape when it comes to security tools and making it super easy to protect your crypto.
Wow. And you guys heard it here first. I mean, that is some great alpha. That really is some great alpha. And, I'm a little worried about your safety, Michael, because you're making it a lot harder for scammers out here.
Look, scammers hate us. That's $40 million.
I'm worried about your physical safety.
Yeah. I mean, that's $40 million that we've saved from scammers so far that they weren't able to get, right? So of course, like they hate us. They're constantly attempting to DDoS us and to, basically, bring us down. But I think what it comes down to is we don't sleep. We eat, we breathe security, Wallet Guard. Like, we're not going anywhere. We built in the bear. The bull is coming. The bull's here. Like, we're not going anywhere. We're going to make it harder for scammers to get to people, just like we do every single day, every time that we see people thanking us for saving their crypto, thanking us for saving their wallets. This is a real product. It's out right now. It takes seconds to enable, and you could literally start protecting your crypto immediately. And you have a tool to safely onboard others as well. So scammers are fucked. Let's put it that way.
Well, I really appreciate all the time, Michael. We've been on a while. I know you had a long day, and all these links we talked about are in the description, the Twitter pages, the websites, all that stuff's down there. Give him a follow. Give Michael a follow. He's down there. I'm down there. If you're interested in my Telegram, that's down there. Check out all the links in the description, a lot of stuff. I don't want to keep Michael on here. I could keep talking about it because I just like the security side. I'm learning more. I think as the stream went on, we got more in depth, with the pen tester, and then you dropped the alpha just now.
Yeah.
You know, really great stream. I know a lot of people, security seems boring to you. It's boring until your wallet gets drained and you know, like I said, it's just not a game out here, you know, and it's serious business. And when it happens to you, you know, it's going to hurt. If this stream just helped one person from not getting scammed, you know, then it's worth every bit of the effort and time that we put into it.
100%. I always say that even if it's one person that I'm coming into a Twitter space that's willing to listen, a single tip could go such a long way. You know, we'll go anywhere. We'll talk at any conference. We will engage with any community. We'll do any Twitter space as long as there's somebody that's willing to listen. It's worth it. I mean, it could literally create a cascading effect for the rest of that person's life, knowing that, hey, they're actually stayed in the space because they didn't lose their assets, because they understood what they were interacting with and they knew how to onboard properly. So, you know, with that being said, I think like, you know, my DMs are open. If anyone has any questions, if anyone has any concerns, any feedback, you've been using the app, you have a way to make it better. This is how we built it to the point that it is right now, with feedback, with community. You know, we're not just a bunch of VCs. We're actual degens ourselves. Everybody on the team is a degen. Like we're in multiple communities. Like we're building this for ourselves too, you know? Yeah. So with that being said, you know, final statement, don't raw dog the blockchain. Use wallet code.
The blockchain.
Let's go.
Yeah, strap up. Well, we thank you again, Michael. His link's in the description. Please follow him on Twitter. MichaelK.eth. Got a Bored Ape Yacht Club as his profile picture. He had a long day. He had a meeting right before this, so we're gonna let him off the hook here. So thanks for everybody tuning in, and I really hope that everyone got something out of this. Later, guys.
Peace out.